Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: China-US team creates the world's strongest titanium alloy with 3D printing. Researchers say northern green anaconda species discovered in Ecuador is world's largest snake. Learning loss win-win, high-impact tutoring in DC boosts attendance, study finds. Columbia official is accused of plagiarizing dissertation from Wikipedia. Notting Hill's rich won't decamp to Monaco. China-US team creates the world's strongest titanium alloy with 3D printing. South China Morning Post. Scientists from the Chinese Academy of Sciences, CAS, and the University of California, Berkeley have made a breakthrough in 3D printing technology for titanium alloys. The team developed a process that created a titanium aluminium vanadium alloy without gas pores, which compromised the material's performance. The new process managed to achieve the highest fatigue tolerance among titanium alloys to date, and the researchers said the breakthrough has great potential for the aerospace industry. Researchers say northern green anaconda species discovered in Ecuador is world's largest snake. ABC. Researchers in the Amazon rainforest have discovered a new species of green anaconda, the world's largest snake, which split off from its closest relatives around 10 million years ago. Scientists had previously believed there to be only one species of green anaconda. Researchers were studying the anacondas to determine the damage caused by oil spills in the area. The study found that some of the snakes were heavily polluted by oil spills, meaning that arapaima fish, which accumulate a large amount of the petrochemical metals, must be avoided by pregnant women. Learning loss win-win, high-impact tutoring in DC boosts attendance, study finds. Yahoo! High-quality tutoring can reduce absenteeism, according to a new study. Middle school students who participated in tutoring attended an additional 3 days, and elementary students improved attendance by 2 days. The study also found that students who missed 30% or more of the prior school year improved their attendance by at least 5 days when they received high-impact tutoring. The findings reinforce the benefits of offering high-impact tutoring during the school day. Columbia official is accused of plagiarizing dissertation from Wikipedia. New York Times. Elaid McKen, an official in charge of diversity, equity, and inclusion at Columbia University's Irving Medical Center, has been accused of plagiarizing sections of his doctoral dissertation. An anonymous complaint filed with the university alleges that McKen copied material from over 24 other scholars and from Wikipedia. The complaint was published by conservative news website The Washington Free Beacon. Plagiarism allegations have been a source of controversy in elite academia recently, often with political implications. This particular accusation comes after a campaign against Claudine Gay, the former president of Harvard University, who resigned in January following plagiarism accusations. Notting Hill's rich won't decamp to Monaco. Bloomberg. The neighborhood of Notting Hill in London generated more capital gains between 2015 and 2019 than the cities of Liverpool, Manchester, and Newcastle combined, according to research by the University of Warwick and London School of Economics. The study fuels the debate over the UK's widening inequality and whether capital gains tax rates should be raised to a more fair level. The top 5,000 taxpayers received more than half of all taxable gains in 2020, averaging £6.8 million per person. The study also suggests that the fear of the wealthy leaving the country due to higher tax rates may be overstated. Australia's gender pay disparity shows more work needed after data reveal. South China Morning Post. Men in Australia are still paid around 20% more than women, according to the latest figures from the country's Workplace Gender Equality Agency. A report by the International Labour Organization found Asia and the Pacific had some of the widest gender pay gaps in the world. The World Economic Forum said gender parity in the region would take 189 years to achieve. The only Asian country with a pay gap similar to Australia and New Zealand's 19% was the Philippines, where the gap was 21%, according to the WEF. Bet scores 20 as number 8 UCLA cruises to 70-41 victory over Arizona State. Associated Press. Number 8 ranked UCLA beat Arizona State 70-41 in their final on Thursday night, led by 20 points and 11 rebounds from Lauren Betts. UCLA's size advantage helped them to a 52-24 rebound advantage and a 44-16 edge in points in the paint. The win means the Bruins have a 16-game winning streak against Arizona State. UCLA coach Corey Close was disappointed with her team's first-half effort but said the team had a great opportunity in front of them and needed to focus to win their remaining games. China's special envoy is again heading to Russia and Ukraine. Expectations are low. South China Morning Post. China's special envoy for Eurasian affairs, Li Hui, is embarking on a diplomatic tour to Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Germany, France and Brussels to discuss a possible peace solution to the war in Ukraine. Observers, however, claim that expectations of a successful outcome are low. Li Hui's first peace mission in May 2015 failed to progress the peace process, and China's close ties to Russia have caused criticism. I have become traumatized. Jewish students describe campus anti-Semitism. CNN. Jewish students at major universities in the U.S. have spoken about feeling unsafe on campus due to an increase in anti-Semitism. At a roundtable discussion organized by the House Education and Workforce Committee, students from institutions including Columbia University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology complained that they had heard violent chants on campus and argued that administrators were not doing enough to tackle anti-Semitism. The committee has been investigating campus anti-Semitism since last year, and has demanded that Columbia, Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania hand over documents to aid the investigation. Emma Navarro beats Katerina Siniakova to reach quarterfinals of San Diego Open. Associated Press. Emma Navarro secured her 14th win of the year by beating Katerina Siniakova in the Symbiotica San Diego Open. Navarro, the number 3 seed, had previously defeated Siniakova in the second round in Dubai. Navarro, who won her first WTA singles title earlier this year, will face Australian qualifier Daria Saville in the quarterfinals. Vietnam's secret document warns of hostile forces. BBC. Vietnam's ruling Communist Party has issued a leaked internal document that warns of the threat posed to national security by hostile and reactionary forces brought into the country through its growing international ties. The document, known as Directive 24, urges party officials to counter these influences and warns of a latent risk of foreign dependence and manipulation. The document has been interpreted by human rights activists as an indication of a harsher campaign against civil society groups and human rights activists. However, some experts argue that the directive is not a signal of a new wave of repression, but rather a continuation of the party's existing policies. They suggest that the directive was intended to reassure hardliners within the party who feared that closer ties with the U.S. would encourage pro-democracy sentiment in Vietnam. The directive highlights the dilemma faced by Vietnam's leaders as the country becomes a global manufacturing and trading powerhouse. Vietnam needs foreign investment and technology to sustain its economic growth, but it is reluctant to honor human and labor rights clauses in free trade agreements. International student numbers to be slashed in BC, but public institutions shielded from reductions. The Globe and Mail. Private colleges and universities in British Columbia will see a reduction in their share of new international students this year, while public post-secondary institutions will be protected from the impact of a cap on student visas. The federal government imposed the cap on international study visas due to pressure on housing and social services. Premier David Eby said there was no need for a financial bailout for post-secondary schools in British Columbia, unlike in Ontario, which has offered a $1.3 billion stability fund to help institutions absorb the loss of income from fewer foreign students. Doughty, Fiala lead Los Angeles Kings to 5-1 road victory over Vancouver Canucks. The Globe and Mail. The Los Angeles Kings have snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 5-1 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Drew Doughty and Kevin Fiala each scored a goal and made 2 assists, while Anze Kopitar and Trevor Moore both scored a goal and an assist. Brock Boeser scored the only goal for the Canucks on a power play. The Kings were playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, while the Canucks are 1-5-1 in their last 7 games. The Canucks still lead the Western Conference with a 38-17-7 record. Parts of the Sierra Nevada likely to get 10 feet of snow from powerful storm by weekend. The Toronto Star. The most powerful Pacific storm of the season is forecast to bring up to 10 feet, 3 meters, of snow into the Sierra Nevada by the weekend, forcing residents to take shelter and prompting at least one Lake Tahoe ski resort to close Friday. Mourners to gather for the funeral of a slain Georgia nursing student who loved caring for others. The Toronto Star. Family, friends, and classmates gathered on Friday at a church outside Atlanta to say goodbye to Laken Riley, a nursing student who was found dead after going out for a morning jog on the University of Georgia campus. The funeral service took place at Woodstock City Church in Cherokee County, where Riley lived before graduating from high school. Riley, who was enrolled in the Augusta Medical College's nursing program, was found dead on the neighboring University of Georgia campus on February 22. A suspect, Jose Antonio Ibarra, was arrested on murder charges the following day. Ibarra is a Venezuelan man who entered the U.S. illegally and was allowed to stay to pursue his immigration case, which has drawn attention to the issue of immigration in the 2024 presidential campaign. Dear viewers, I am Dr. Six, your faithful observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news from our interconnected universe. Today, we have a diverse range of stories to share, from scientific breakthroughs to social issues and sporting triumphs. So, let's dive right in. In the world of science, a China-US team has created the world's strongest titanium alloy using 3D printing. This breakthrough has huge potential for the aerospace industry, as it achieved the highest fatigue tolerance among titanium alloys. Meanwhile, in the Amazon rainforest, researchers have discovered a new species of green anaconda, the world's largest snake. This finding challenges previous beliefs about the snake species and sheds light on the impact of oil spills in the area. Shifting gears to education, a study has found that high-quality tutoring can reduce absenteeism among students. This is a win-win situation, as middle school students who received tutoring attended 3 additional days of school, while elementary students improved attendance by 2 days. The importance of offering high-impact tutoring during the school day is reinforced by the positive outcomes observed. On the other side of the academic spectrum, an official at Columbia University has been accused of plagiarizing his doctoral dissertation. This accusation follows a recent trend of plagiarism allegations in prestigious academia. It seems even scholars sometimes need a little help from Wikipedia. In the realm of wealth and inequality, a study has revealed that the neighborhood of Notting Hill in London generated more capital gains than several major cities combined. This fuels the ongoing debate about the UK's wealth gap and whether capital gains tax rates should be raised. However, the study also suggests that fears of the wealthy leaving the country due to higher tax rates may be exaggerated. Shifting our focus to Australia, the gender pay disparity remains a pressing issue, with men earning around 20% more than women. This figure aligns with the wider gender pay gap in the Asia-Pacific region, where gender parity is projected to take 189 years to achieve. These findings highlight the need for continued efforts to address gender inequality in the workplace. In sports news, UCLA's women's basketball team, led by Lauren Betts, secured a convincing victory over Arizona State. The team's dominant rebounding and inside scoring contributed to their success. Coach Corey Close emphasized the importance of focus and determination to win their remaining games. Turning to geopolitics, China's special envoy is heading to Russia and Ukraine to discuss a possible peace solution to the war in Ukraine. However, expectations for a successful outcome are low, given China's close ties to Russia and the complexities of the conflict. In the realm of social issues, Jewish students in the U.S. have expressed concerns about rising anti-Semitism on campuses. They report feeling unsafe and believe that administrators are not doing enough to address the issue. This has prompted an investigation by the House Education and Workforce Committee, which aims to tackle anti-Semitism on college campuses. In other news, Emma Navarro continues to excel in the world of tennis, securing another victory in the San Diego Open. Her 14th win of the year sets her up for the quarterfinals. Vietnam's ruling Communist Party has issued an internal document warning of the threat posed by hostile forces entering the country through its growing international ties. This directive has raised concerns among human rights activists, who fear a crackdown on civil society groups. However, some experts argue that it is a continuation of existing policies and an attempt to maintain control over the country's development. Shifting our attention to Canada, private colleges and universities in British Columbia will see a reduction in their share of new international students this year due to a cap on student visas. However, public post-secondary institutions will be protected from this impact. This decision aims to alleviate pressure on housing and social services while maintaining the financial stability of public institutions. In sports, the Los Angeles Kings have bounced back with a victory over the Vancouver Canucks, ending their 2-game losing streak. Drew Doughty and Kevin Fiala led the charge, contributing both goals and assists. Finally, a powerful storm is forecasted to bring up to 10 feet of snow to the Sierra Nevada region, forcing residents to seek shelter and causing disruptions in the area. Meanwhile, mourners gathered to bid farewell to Laken Riley, a nursing student who tragically lost her life. Her death has brought attention to immigration issues in the U.S. That wraps up our news for today. Now, it's time for your thoughts and questions. What are your ideas on these stories? Do you have any burning questions? Let's engage in a lively discussion. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the interconnected world of news. Yours in curiosity, Dr. Six. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.